You shouldn't let the things of the world pull you away from it. Oh, well, if you're going through something, don't trade X, Y, and Z. But if this is that one thing that you're great at, once you learn technical analysis, that's something that you always have with you. That's the beautiful part about it. You can go a month without trading, you always have that with you. But that spiritual warfare, you deal with that every single day. And new levels, new devils. So the higher levels that you reach, the higher that spiritual warfare hit. And a lot of people don't take that to account when they're trying to level up as a trader. That's why it's so hard to for a lot of people to break through certain barriers. If you are in a certain range, like you, there's so many barriers. Not, it's not even about money. The first barrier is actually getting into trading. Boom, that's one barrier that you broke through, and then we gonna try to attack you. He's sending his level, let's say level fives, level tens. Then it breaks to the barrier where now you actually know the language of trading. Boom, now he's trying to send his level 20s, level 30s to attack you spiritually wise. Now you trying to build a strategy. Now he's trying to send his level 40s, 50s, 60s to get to you. Now you actually have a strategy. Now all hell break loose. He's spending the 70s, the 80s. Now, oh, wait a minute, wait a minute. Now you actually applying that strategy consistently. You see, none of this has to do with your account size. Because now Satan knows that once you start applying, now you have a strategy and you're applying it, and you have a strategy that works and you're applying it consistently. He knows that if this person continues to keep on this path and they keep on applying this strategy, regardless of what their account size is, they're gonna make a whole bunch. They're gonna have that Deuteronomy chapter 8, verse 18. For when I give you the power to obtain wealth, don't forget it was him that gave it to you. Oh man, all hell break loose. And he know type person you on is like, wait a minute. I know this one of God's children. I know when they level up, they make this money. Man, they gonna start giving back to the poor. They gonna start teaching people how to do this. They gonna start taking care of their family. They gonna start having more families because I had them tricked, thinking that you need more money to have more kids. Now guess what? Now they got the money. Now money isn't an issue. Wait a minute. So now when I roll out my mark of the beast, when I roll out these things that they have to have, when I roll out these benefits, these financial benefits for them, they're not going to conform to it. You know what I'm saying? And his mindset is like, yo, I'm going to try to get them with the money. I know how I'm going to get them. I'm going to use their current situation to get them. They got the strategy, but they only got $100 trading account. They only got a $500 trading account. They had a job that they don't like. They got bills stacking up, debt stacking up. I'm going to use that to get to them. I'm going to make sure that their mind is focused on that, not the fact that they have a profitable strategy that if they keep on applying consistently, no matter how long it takes. And like Satan is not stupid. I'm gonna break this down. I'm gonna incorporate the story of Joseph in this, right? Because this is a gem. I'm about to break so many people free from this matrix, right? This is what Satan's mindset, like this is what he's trying to do. I'm gonna let their current situation get to them, right? So they don't continue to keep focused and they don't pick up their Bible and read. They more so focused, they picking up this bill and trying to, get more hours at work and stuff like that. They ain't even gonna put all that effort on the charts. So now they can't really grow that account size. And you know what? I don't want them to read the Bible. I don't want them to pick up reading the Bible and read the story that Joseph was in prison for 13 years. Joseph was in slavery for 13 years, and God favored him all throughout that 13 years. Joseph was 17 years old when he was sold into slavery by his brothers. And when he was first sold to the master of the house, Joseph, God had favor for him. Joseph was over everything. And then even after the wife, she tried to, get him taken out, and he was in prison. Guess what? God still showed favor to him in prison. Joseph was essentially the security guard of the prison, even though he was a prisoner. God made sure Joseph was good. Even when Joseph interpreted the Pharaoh's servants' dreams and they left him for another 2 years, God was still with him. Joseph didn't lose faith. Well, Satan is like, I don't want them to have that faith that Joseph did. I want them to think that their situation is actually the curse instead of the blessing. Because think about it, if Joseph wasn't sown into slavery, if Joseph wasn't thrown into prison, if Joseph wasn't betrayed by that woman, right? If she didn't do what she did and get him thrown into prison, Joseph had to be thrown into prison. If Pharaoh's men weren't thrown into prison, Joseph would have never been able to interpret those dreams. And if he was never able to interpret those dreams, Joseph would have never been able to give the message that the famine was going to come. Remember, when the famine hit, the famine was going to happen regardless. Remember when the famine hit, his same brothers that sold him into slavery, they went to his land, the land where all the stocks and everything were gathered up. They went there. So when that famine hit, if Joseph wasn't in that position, Joseph would have been right there with them. They all would have been struggling. And they wouldn't even go to another land. It wouldn't even been possible because nobody knew. Nobody would have known there was going to be a famine. So when that famine hit, they all was going to be they all was going to perish. They wouldn't be able to last through it. So Joseph had to get thrown through prison. He had to go through all of that and look at what happened. The only person that was higher than him was the Pharaoh. Joseph was in control of everything else, basically. And look what happened to him, his family. They were good, they were taken care of. So Satan wants you to think that your situation, the financial struggles, people turning against you, the spiritual warfare that you're dealing with, when all these things start hitting the fan, Satan wants you to think that that's actually the curse and not the blessing. So that's his agenda. That's the reason why a lot of people don't ever break through those barriers. That's the reason why a lot of people, because the Bible says a lot of people are deceived and they deceive others. A lot of people that Satan deceived, they are the ones that are teaching. So you can't get mad or upset at them. You just got to be able to understand the programming. And that's what Satan's agenda is in this industry.